Hello, my name is Kade. This is Dune Awakening, and this is my version of the Tech Shelter solo base, which has everything in it that you will need for your solo playstyle. This is a version of like slightly refined version of the base made by uh, Ian Adams. Let me check one more time. Ian Martin Adams, as they are apparently on YouTube. They also posted on Reddit. I cannot find the Reddit post, but I'll link the YouTube version down below. I pretty much took it, ran with it, and just made a couple of tweaks and refinements to make it suit my particular needs. So I managed to add a little bit extra power so that I could have a couple extra items in there for refinement. And in order to do that, I had to tweak the placement of the subchief console a little bit, but in the end it all worked out. If I was wondering, the Assault Ornithopter there is actually considered to be sheltered in base, so the fact that it sticks out like that you can completely ignore. So what do we have then? Well, we have a lot of directional wind turbines, of course, because they allow us to keep the base powered for 31 days. So if you want to take a longer break, here you go. They're excellent. Alternatively, of course, you could use spice generators. If you got that kind of stuff on farm and you want to go through that kind of hassle, by all means, be my guest. It's not for me, but it would allow you to maybe double up the refining capacity. So if that's something that you're after, like you're a really active player, you play a lot of hours constantly, then that may be something to look into. But for most of you solos, this is already going to be a heck of a lot to farm up for, and it will really keep you going completely fine. So, going down in, nice level entrance for the buggy, which is parked on top of the advanced vehicle fabricator. You could easily fit a sand bike next to it, or even two buggies if you wanted to. I don't really see the point of your solo. A single buggy is all that you're really gonna need. A couple drop boxes, for ore and bodies. We have 6 advanced dead cells, so these are for your bulk water generation. So if you're like, hey, I'm having a big farming day today, I need a lot of water, then of course you will just put some bodies in the dead cells, and it really helps you get some bulk water going. Above it you see the first of many large water cisterns. There's a total of 1300 liters of water in this base, so that's a fair amount. Basic vehicle crafter, survival, advanced and basic, box for some items for the buggy, like parts, welding wire, repair tools, stuff like that. Medium chem refinery, large ore refinery, couple drop boxes, 2 medium boxes. There's going to be more up in here as well, 3 on each level there. These are pretty much all of the boxes in here I have assigned as output for my refineries. All of my refineries go to circuit 8 output, and whatever gets in there gets in there. I don't really care where it is, because it's just going to be used by me for crafting purposes, so it doesn't really matter. Large spice refinery, fairly tricky to squeeze this one in. You have to get it to the right as much as possible. You cannot use any walls that stick out, like the LED walls from the tradies, for example. They're too thick. Get it as far to the right as possible. You have to actually build it, and then you can test if these floors fit in, the ones up here. If they do, you've done a good job, and the rest will just work. If we go up one level, we go into habitation and fabrication, as well as more storage. So this is going to be storage for all sorts of whatever. And down here, of course, this is also going to be filled up with more storage containers. Here, I'll grab the tool out. So you can see them, they're all over there, and there's some more over there. I do like a little bit of a roleplay vibe in my base. I wanted some social space, so down here we have a lovely little seating area, all sorts of stuff, like everything is just nicely decorated. Of course, we have our best pal in the game. I don't understand why people want to kill them. It's like disgusting, don't do that. They're way too cute. Bedroom, little reading corner as well. Put some stuff in the bookshelves, of course. And these are the Atreides dividers. I added some stuff on top of them. it just adds a little bit more character. And I use these, I guess like wind chimes or something, to be like a visual divider of the space. So this is like, hey, this is habitation and the rest is fabrication. These things actually shine really cool light through them if you put a light behind them. I did know that. Now I do. Repair station, of course you always need to repair your stuff. Advanced weapons, basic armor, advanced armor. So all of your crafting stations are accounted for. Then on top here we have our Assault Orney parked. It's fairly well located. It sticks out of course, but hey, that's the sacrifices you have to make in order to have one of these. And if you're a solo going into the deep desert, it is kind of worth going with an assault. Just don't do it during prime time. If you can farm during off-peak hours, it's really, really bloody amazing. But even if you go for peak hours, depending on your server, you probably can get away with it. They're not as bad as a lot of people can make them out to be. I first was also a convert to just scouts, but I'm slowly being won over by using actually the assault. I still hate how they fly, they're way too sluggish. But hey, what can you do? Yeah. And on the roof, 4 large water catchers. These are just great for passive water income. So you just have them running as much as you like. Make sure, of course, you don't put too many filters in there that they will overflow your water cisterns. They will just keep consuming them. That's very wasteful. Those filters are not cheap to make. And we have our last directional wind turbines. A couple of notes if you want to build this base. The wind turbines in here in this corner. If you want to build these, you have to build them from the bottom up. So you first build these, then you can add the floors on top. Build those, add the floors on top, build those. If you want to build, you're going to need to build this like water tower. So there's like water cisterns here, then you have the dead stills. This one you actually have to build from the top down. Otherwise you cannot fit the dead stills properly and also not the water cistern there. It's one of the many quirks that Dune Awakening has with its building mechanics. I can't really do much about it, but now you know, now you can keep that into mind. Final tip is like, don't build your base with an exit right towards enemies like I did. They just keep shooting you whenever you arrive in your base, which can get a little bit annoying. But hey, on the plus side, they are good for free bodies. And bodies, of course, means more water. So whenever I see one of them up, I just tend to collect my taxes from them, as I like to call it. And store it for more water production. You just cannot have too much water. There we go. So yeah, that is my ultimate solo space. Completely tax-free on the basic subtief. So you never have to worry about giving the Emperor a bloody dime. Because of course, why would you want to give Emperors any money? They tend to be assholes by default. Otherwise you would not become an Emperor. So build yourself a nice little basic base. And don't worry about any of the taxes. In fact, there is a very large base of mine that I built as our new guild base. And that was our old guild base, but seeing our activity went down, I'm not paying my taxes on those anymore, and I'm just going to let them fall to bits. I pretty much took everything out of them that I needed to. And now we have this. And I would recommend, even if you're playing as a guild, what you can actually do is just have your guild leader can have like one of these and focus it for like access for the guild, where everybody can just do all of the refining and stuff. So if you're starting out, and then slowly, you know, more and more people can actually build copies of these things. You can build them fairly close together here in the shield walls. There's a lot of space for them. And you can just build yourself a little village of bases. And not everybody needs to have the same base with everything in there, because of course once you have a couple of refineries going, you don't really need infinite amount, so people can also build more creative little bases. You can even just be like, hey, I'm going to build bases specific for certain things. Play around with it, like build yourself a village instead of a large guild base, because It also means that people have a little bit of more ownership to it, and they may feel more like playing the game themselves and farming for the stuff because they need to keep up their own little base. So if you're gonna play with a guild, I would say do that instead of building large guild bases. And again, as a bonus, of course, it saves you from having to pay any of the god darn taxes. Because who wants to pay taxes? I most certainly don't want to. And yeah, that has been my little base. I hope you find it informative. If you have any questions, by all means do let me know down below. And all that left is for me is to thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Kade. Goodbye.